The way Cardi B and Offset have been at each other, y'all might as well talk to Mona Scott Young and get a special or go on Love and Hip Hop, because the way y'all are acting, we might as well get the full story and well produced, because this mess that y'all are doing online needs to stop. And if anything, it's hurting Cardi B more than Offset. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, you all? We are in the group chat with Cardi B and Offset, and we cannot remove ourselves. We cannot remove ourselves. We do not have the updated iOS. We cannot remove ourselves out the group chat. We have went from Blue and Homegirl with the missing teeth to Offset and Cardi B. And the way Offset is talking online, talking about nobody wins when the family feuds, baby, if you're gonna take any lines from Jay-Z, at least do this in a better way and put it in the music. The way y'all are going on Twitter Spaces, Twitter tyrants, or whatever y'all want to call it, girl, it's too much for the general public. Like, put it in the music and let us listen and consume it. So recently, Cardi B, and I didn't even know this was at Offset's party. Cardi B went to Offset's party. She was at the same club that he was for his birthday party, which was on the 14th. And both of them are in there. You can see Offset looking at Cardi B. Cardi B is enjoying herself, or looking like she's enjoying herself. They're throwing money. Offset is throwing money her way. She's kind of brushing it off. This is a whole show. This is a whole show. I just don't get it. Like, I get possibly doing something to make your ex feel jealous. I don't get showing up to the same space that my ex is in to do anything. I just don't see that. I remember someone shared to me that I was not ready to let go of my ex. And I said, what do you mean? We've been separated for 3-4 months. What do you mean? And he's like, no, if you were ready to let go of him, you will let go of him. And my ex still had access to me over the year by us being on the same phone line. And he didn't pay the phone line for the last year in like a couple of months. And that was the only way we were staying in communication, is him, paying off the bill or whatever. And he's like, if you want to let go of him, you need to let go of him. And I thought about that. I was like, you're absolutely right. And I turned their phone line off. Like, I turned it off, and, I was able to let him go. That was the one thing that was allowing me to let him go. Now, when it comes to Cardi B and Offset, it's very difficult because they have 3 kids together, which is funny because Offset tried to eat Cardi B up with saying that, you got all these kids and all the other stuff, you're doing the most. Like, you have 6 kids. You're trying to say these things about her, and she has 3 kids with you, and you have 6 kids altogether. You have 3 with her and some with another relationship. So if anybody is quote unquote damaged goods, you are damaged goods. But we know what type of world we live in, and that Offset will not be seen like that. Goes back to what I was saying in my Doechii video that's coming out later on today, where men do not have to worry about the same systems when it comes to being in the industry. Men can be bad parents. Women cannot be even perceived in the slightest that they are bad parents. And Cardi B, watching this, I'm not gonna get into all of the leaked texts and all the other stuff. This is not a tea channel. This is a discussion channel. I've been said for the longest that Cardi B is going to have to really let go of social media. And it's difficult for her, for somebody who's built her audience and things from being social, like being the quote unquote regular degular. Like, she is relatable for a lot of folks. She came up on social media, and that's how she became successful and, as known. But it is known that Cardi B does not take social media well. Like, she does not do well with social media now while being famous. That's why I said that it's difficult to jump to stardom so quick, because you don't know how to work it for you and find what works for you. Cardi B is known for lashing on fans, not just online or offline. Like, folks who don't fuck with her, I'm not even gonna say fans, but folks who clearly be trying to troll her. And as recently as a TMZ video that was just posted of a, fan that was standing outside while she was in the car taking a picture with another fan. So you hear this fan say that I'll give you a reason, like threaten her. I'll give you a reason to hate me or prove that I hate you or something.
Cardi, I'm gonna show you how much I hate you.
I love you, Cardi.
It's a video. Say something.
It's a video.
Yeah, how much you who?
You gotta say something.
You know what you said?
How much you what?
How much you what?
Cardi B, having security and all of that, she still felt the need to get at him. Now, what that fan did was out of control because we don't know what you're trying to do. Like, you could be trying to pull something. Like, you can be like out here. Like, you can be trying to get a moment. And we don't know what you're capable of because fans do be doing some off the wall stuff. But Cardi B, you know, she lashed out, and I get the need to quote unquote, you know, buck up and stuff. But sometimes that does more harm than good because now people know that they can get a rise out of you by doing these things, which is why you'll see Cardi have to clap back on fans on Twitter. They'll say things like they're not scared of you. They are on the internet. It's a million of them. They're going to say things. You're going to have to ignore them. You're going to have to remove yourself from Twitter. You're going to have to remove yourself from social media. Like, Cardi B responds to each and everything. Every time something goes on with her and Offset, she feels the need to make a Twitter space. Yes, it's funny. It's fun. But Cardi B, you are a celebrity that your image is your currency. And now every time we're hearing about you as recent, it's not about new music or even the new album. It is about mess with how you're going off on somebody on Twitter. You're going off on, you know, somebody random in a space or something about your relationship or, you know, soon to be ex-husband, whatever you want to call it. That is what we're seeing from you. The only time we're hearing from you is around mess, which means now that people are starting to mute you. People are starting to be like, I'm turned off. Like, the fact that people are comparing you to Blueface and Homegirl, folks are getting tired of it. And, you know, folks who are fans of you, who are not stans, but fans enjoying the music, are getting turned off. Like, you are saying one thing and you're doing another thing. I really hold Offset accountable for how Cardi B is acting. Say what you want to say, but he is the reason for a lot of these things. And I'm going to get a little personal, and check me if I'm wrong, but Cardi B, she is a very like funny, sweet person, and I think she is talented. But Cardi B dealing with Offset and his cheating, his constant cheating, I feel like, and we see that a lot with female artists, period, specifically female rappers, where it's a male-dominated field. Like, the industry is already male-dominated, but when it comes to rap, it's even more on another level. Which is why you see this conversation happen about Doechii and the Harriet Tubman stuff. I talked about that. These women will say all of these things and then go on to use language to center men. Like, you'll hear stuff like what Lotto says in her music, and then she'll talk about her body count. All of the good qualities that they are naming are very male-centered. Cardi tweeted this, and I know it's deleted now, and I'm just paraphrasing, but she kind of just said that her best qualities are having small feet, her box don't stink, and it stay clean. All of these things that you hear men talk about when they're talking about like women, like all of these things like low body count. Like, I don't know if Cardi B has said that, but you hear this jump out in the music, even in the song where she said, your cooch then had more turns in the keyhole. Like, I think that was Cardi B who said that. Like, this thing where it's supposed to be very, I don't know, like feminist, like not centering men, but at the same time, be other things that are jumping out. And I feel for Cardi B. I really do feel for her because I think that the insecurities that Offset has caused her are showing themselves. I feel as though when Cardi B goes on Twitter Spaces and she's saying these things and she's talking online and she's tweeting and she's dragging it, she's not dragging Offset per se. She's kind of dragging herself. And when I say that, she's trying to convince herself that she is over him. Like, she needs to convince herself that she is done. Like, we've all had that friend that we know they ain't over the, you know, their ex or whatever, but they have to do things to prove that they are. They have to overcompensate for it. And I feel like she's doing it because internally she knows. And Cardi, you're probably never going to get over this man. And that's okay. This is the father of your children. going to the internet and seeking validation is not the best therapy option, especially for somebody that has all the resources that you have. You need to go speak to a counselor or a therapist or somebody who's qualified to help you unpack and really not only just deal with your, relationship or coming to the end and grieving your relationship with Offset, but also teaching you how to better work social media, because it is getting to you. You are constantly checking everything. You're quote tweeting tweets from folks who are not adding you. You're knowing about every little tweet. I don't get it. And I have said for the longest, I do not Google my name. I do not search my name. My friends even know that if I'm getting ate up online, unless it's something very, very serious, do not send it to me. But if it's something serious, there are people who are going to let me know what's going on. Like, I've been through it. As someone who's been doing this for 10 years, I have learned a lot. And I've had some experience. I know how to better navigate social media. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect at it, because I still have my times where it gets to me. But I know the things that I need to do. Even if I wait longer than I'm supposed to do it, I do it to protect my mental health. There's no need to argue with folks. I remember I was in drama earlier. I remember something was going on and I felt the need to respond to every little thing because I felt like I was being attacked. And it's just nothing I'm going to say is going to prove anything to these people. And the more I continuously feed them these things, they're going to respond, because they're not interested in having a productive dialogue. They're interested in just eating me up. And you have to find that fine line between people who are interested in hearing your side and folks who are just do not care. So the people who do care will find out, if you're being honest about who you are, and it's going to take some time. But Cardi B feels the need to respond to all of these trolls. And it's difficult for her because she, has been in the beef with Nicki Minaj that comes on and comes off. So you're going to have this big, gigantic fan base. They don't want you to start talking mess. Homegirl going to come with a Chucky meme and it's going to be some mess. Like, they want to see mess. And you have to understand that. The more you understand that, the less you will feed it. People say that Jay-Z and Beyonce do a really good job at that. And I have to admit that I like how they do it. When the drama is coming out, they put it in the music. Like, you are going to pay to be able to hear our drama. And I'll shout out to them for that. Like, we're going to talk about it, but it's going to be in the music. It's going to be in us doing a tour, like this type of stuff. So I'm just like, Cardi B, Offset, go on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop New York, reboot that. I mean, you got Papoose and Remy, Mona Lisa, Mona Scott, girl, come on, get back, come on, open the door or something. Like, you need to tap in. It's a lot of drama. Apparently, and folks need jobs and they got our attention. Offset probably need a check or two or whatever. Like, get these folks activated, because y'all are giving us this public situation for free and at the cause of y'all brand. Like, and Cardi B is being hurt from it more than anybody, to be honest, because it's demeaning her brand. Cardi for the last couple of years was doing a good job of proving herself that she is more than 15 minutes of fame. She is that girl. She is talented. And now we're seeing that being eroded by this man that a lot of us were like, girl, he's not good for you. Like, you can choose who you want to choose, but like, girl, we want you to choose yourself. And choosing yourself doesn't mean naming that you got small feet. Choosing yourself and centering yourself doesn't mean start naming things that are good qualities for the male gaze. Like, that's just not a good thing. And yes, we do not know Cardi B. None of us know Cardi B. And when I say that, even my critiques and stuff could be, dismissed because that's not actual fact or that's not what's going on. But what we're seeing and getting from you, because you are so public and y'all keep having these spats, we are able to comment on it even more because you are providing us a bigger picture. It might not be the complete picture, but you're putting the picture in front of us each and every time that you're doing this. The nerve of Offset to be out here saying some of the things that he said about you. The nerve. He did tug your wig a little bit, sister, because apparently you hit him up and asked him who was at the club, meaning that you knew he was at the club. So you went specifically to this club to kick it with him. So this is the thing when the folks be talking about some, oh, I'm unbothered, all the other stuff. It's a performance to be unbothered, because if you're unbothered, you're just unbothered. You don't have to name that you're unbothered by it. People do this loud unbotheredness where, you know, you go into the club that he's at for his birthday and you out here unbothered by him throwing money and stuff. It's just like, girl, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I want the best for Cardi B. And I want to hear about Cardi B when she is making music or dropping something. And I just don't think that this whole Offset situation is doing any favors for her. Like, even if there was a project to come out next month, it's being overshadowed with all of this drama. Like, girl, go ahead, divorce this man, have him sign the papers, y'all go y'all separate ways. This is the thing that people have to consider when they get married. And like, this is the thing that people really need to consider, because you really truly see how a person feels about you when y'all break up, or if y'all break up, or when y'all are mad at each other. That's why I pay attention to, like, how do we react when we are having conflict, because conflict is going to happen in any relationship, period. That's relationship with your parents, your friends, your loved ones, like people in your life. How they respond to conflict tells you a lot about what they thought of the friendship and how disposable you are. And even though he gave you a ring and he begged you back and he gave you children and all this other stuff, and y'all were making money moves and all this, like, how he is responding to you and how he's been acting in this marriage with this cheating and stuff, like, what does it mean? It really goes to prove to you that it doesn't matter how good you look, a man is going to cheat no matter what. Like, people keep saying, oh, he was cheating on an ugly girl or whatever. It's like, okay, but he still cheated. What does it matter if they were ugly or whatever? Like, they still cheated. I be trying to explain it to my friends. So, like, it doesn't matter if the person was ugly or you didn't find attractive, they still did it. So what does it say when the person did not choose you, even though you're considered more desirable? Like, did it protect you in that? No, it did not. It didn't do anything. It got you chose, but it didn't keep you. Like, maybe that was the only reason why you were chosen, is because you were a trophy. People need to think about that. Like, you're a trophy status. Like, I'm picking you because of these things, but I don't really care about you as a person. And I remember a tweet that one of my mutuals made that made so much sense, and I need to go find it, and I hope I can put it here. But they said, a lot of us, how we move and we see people that we are attracted to, we think about how good the intimate would be. Come on, Phaedra, would be, instead of if we are even compatible. Like, because us being attracted to each other physically doesn't mean that that is going to be good. And ever since they said that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's made me rethink how I date and how I look at folks. Like, am I only desiring because of these things, or are we actually, like, do we actually have any type of chemistry beyond just physical? And it's so important. I think that's why I'm sapiosexual and all that other stuff. Like, I need a little bit more. But that's all I got. I know I went too deep, but in too deep is none singing ass. But that's all I got. Let me know what y'all thought about this video in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.